gentlemen, this contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle on our normal day. Finally, that is Big Al over here.
You're that guy.
Yes, and that is the professor.
I am that guy.
And we are going to have, and we will be joined by the 3WA heavyweight champion, Roadblock Chad Mccoy. Momentarily, he's having technical difficulties. In the meantime, the professor and I are going to chat with you. Welcome to Around the Turnbuckle. We are, I swear, the closer we get to that 5-year mark, man, it's exciting to me. May of 2025 will be 5 years for us. And we have had a blast from this show. Meeting a lot of folks and getting involved in professional wrestling locally. And, some of the stories we've heard. I mean, Professor, I hope you had a chance to look at that interview with Sage Rose. She was very, very nervous pre-show, but she knocked it out of the park. And I hope she sees this and hears me say that, because I couldn't have said it enough. She knocked it out of the park. She was so scared and didn't know what to say, and she hadn't been in the business that long and didn't have any matches to talk about it per se. That I can't go through the normal questions we normally ask people, which is, what was your best match in your mind? Because she's only had half a dozen, and like some of them are, with her uncle Luca, or her father Miguel Del Barrio. So, female matches. She's had some tag matches. She had a few matches with Shelby Waters at New Era, but that's about it. I mean, she's all set to take on Autumn Breeze down the road. That's if that match happens. I hope that match happens. I mean, Autumn wants it. I know that. I've talked to her. She wants it.
I mean, it's just a matter of getting people in the ring. She's got the number one contender spot, and that certainly matters, and that's certainly a big freaking deal. And we will see. But I still think we're in a very hard spot talking about not just Sage Rose, but female wrestling in general. I think we all get maybe a distorted picture when we look at the mainstream and we look at how much emphasis WWE has put on it and how much emphasis AEW has put on it. And we tend to think like, well, female wrestling is now just as important as male wrestling, and there's this great pipeline, and there's not really just yet. We're still working at the independent level. I mean, at least at the level we're at in Pennsylvania. And I don't say it as a negative or to try to criticize anybody or say anything negative on anybody. It's just, we need more females. We need more females to want to do this and to feel confident to do this and to get into the business. And as a business, we need to be more accommodating and welcoming to females to come in and do this, because I work with some pretty powerful, fierce female ladies that are damn sure just as important to the show as anybody else. We had a match last night, the Ghouls Gambit. Female wrestler Kim Spirit came in as Deadpool, and I mean, she stole the match in a lot of ways with the Deadpool costume and everything she did. And we also crowned new SWO tag team champions. And one half of those tag team champions is Shay McCoy. A woman. We now have intergender tag team champions without the intergender part on the title. So, I mean, there are folks out there that are doing it, that are trying to blaze that trail and get it done. And we need more. We need more. And I know you can't, it's about who's willing, but it's also about when they're willing. Are we doing the best thing possible to find them, identify the ones that are talented and should be broken in and should be here with us in the business? And are we giving them every opportunity to succeed?
Absolutely. And I appreciate you talking there for a while because I did have Chad on the phone.
I figured.
So, you know, the internet is not friendly to everybody.
Yeah.
As some of you might know, Chad has had difficulties joining us before.
Mhm.
He said if this time I send him a brand new link, if this time it doesn't work. See, the problem is when we send these links, a lot of times, and anybody who's been on the show knows that we send it by Facebook Messenger, because usually when I send it Facebook Messenger, it goes right through. They click it on. They end up backstage on this link, and
And
end of
we're and
story.
we're old. It's easy to use Facebook and technologies we understand. I mean, no, let's just be real there. We're older guys and we love the technologies we grew up with. And like Al said, 9 times out of 10, it's the easiest shit and it works.
Yeah, exactly. So with Chad, he doesn't have a Facebook page, so I sent it directly to his phone, and he says when he clicks the link, it asks him, it's like when I click the link, it literally says I'm entering the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives me a name, and I don't understand. Hold on, he's on the phone again. Hey Chad.
Hey, brother, I'm sorry. It just won't let me do it. It won't let me do it.
What are you clicking exactly? Because I just tried it myself. You have to click that yellow link, not the blue thing, the yellow link.
Yeah, I did click I did click it brings in what you sent me. I click on it, and then it comes up to a loading page, and in a few seconds, it goes to YouTube or Facebook, and that's it.
All
That's it.
right. So what happens when I click it? It says enter your name, and on the bottom it has a blue button that says enter the studio.
Okay.
That's what happens when I click it.
Yeah.
Mine too, but my crap's saved because, like you said, we've been doing this for almost 5 years now.
What's that?
I'll try it one more time, and if I can't get it, just give you a call back.
All right. So he's gonna call us back, Keith, if he doesn't get through this
Yeah,
time.
that'll work.
So the Roadblock Chad McCoy is trying to join us, guys. So we are live every Sunday at 6 o'clock. We interview professional wrestlers locally, most of the time, Pennsylvania or New Jersey. But we welcome anybody. If you
Yeah.
come across this, if you're like scanning through YouTube and you're like, "Hey, what's this?" and you just kind of look at it and be like, "Hey, what's that?" Oh, they're in Pennsylvania. They don't give a damn about I'm wrestling down in Texas. Hell no. We've had people from Texas. We've had people from California, Florida. We've had people overseas. In fact, I've talked to those guys. I would love to have Buck Beaver and remember the guys from
Oh
Sweden?
God, yeah. I'd
Yeah,
love
wouldn't
to
that be
see what
cool?
they're doing if they
Yeah,
ever made it over here.
we want to catch up to those guys too, and of course, our friends down south in Alabama. Uh, you know, um, Greg Thundercat, who by the way was recently named one of our top fans because it comes up on the YouTube page. I mean, I'm sorry, on the Facebook page of who
I'm
our
not.
top
I'm
fan.
not surprised. The man bought a plane ticket to come up and hang out with us for a weekend. I mean,
Yeah,
nobody else has done
exactly.
that so far.
Autumn Breeze is tuning in to check out Chad, and what happens? He's not very internet savvy, so we're gonna
That's
end up having him on.
true.
We're gonna end up having him on the phone, Autumn Breeze. So stay tuned because he will be with us, whether he's here, his face is here, or whether his voice is here. He will be with us. Um, so I'm gonna type that banner up just in case it's gonna be an on the phone deal. So on the phone, we're gonna hopefully if he can't get through, we're gonna have on the phone Roadblock.
Yeah.
So, but Roadblock this Saturday, Professor, while we're waiting for him to come back, is defending his 3WA Heavyweight Championship against um Wyndham James Winthrop III. Is he not?
Yeah, he is someone I'm very familiar with. I think someone that's also probably working a few shows for free after what the heinous, disgusting, despicable. I'm running out of adjectives for
Wait a minute.
what he did to Zach Carlucci after
Oh.
the show last time. It was Zach Carlucci's last night, our senior official,
Mm-hmm.
who has done nothing but be a trooper for 3WA, and Wyndham James Winthorpe III, again, who has a pretty good history of folks that tell
All
him
right, 1 second, Chad.
there's a line and you can't cross it,
Mm,
decides, hey, you tell me that, I'm just going to put my hands on you.
exactly. And
I've been there.
so you did see Mr. Carlucci this past weekend. How's he doing? Like, is he okay from that attack from the Prime Minister of Professional Wrestling?
Mr. Carlucci is doing well. He did wrestle. Not wrestle. He did referee on the show.
He did, okay.
I definitely caught a couple of instances where he was maybe a little out of position, and I think that's probably coming from that attack. But as you know, he is the current owner of the SWO. We did find out last night at the end of the show that next month, Mr. Carlucci, based on what Marshall Moore has driven him to, it will be a 4-on-4 elimination tag team matchup. So a Survivor Series
Survivor Series
style
type,
match
yeah.
next month. Marshall Moore goes and picks 4 guys. Good luck with that, because his meal ticket has to defend the title against the winner of the Ghouls Gambit, Shawn Rollins.
That's right.
If Marshall Moore can find 4 guys, Zach Carlucci will find 4 guys. The losing team, their man, whoever is managing them, for lack of a better term,
Yeah.
will leave the SWO at that point. So it is
Yikes.
all on the line
High
next month.
stakes. High stakes at the
The
next
highest of
SWO show.
stakes.
But this Saturday,
Yes,
our
indeed.
guest, our guest at this time on the phone is the current 3WA heavyweight champion, the Roadblock Chad McCoy. How you doing, Chad?
Reigning and defending.
Yes.
How you guys doing today?
Can you
I'm
hear him, Keith?
I can a little low, but I can hear him. I'm show tired. I don't know about you, Al.
I'm trying to no. Well, I'm trying to find out where the mic is on this thing because I'm using an iPad and I normally don't use it.
Hmm.
Well, I'm sorry about that. You know me, guys. I'm so old school. I have problems, trying to connect with stuff. So
Got it.
I know you're so old school. It was just called school back then. Love you, Chad. Don't kill me.
Thundercat, man, I miss wrestling. Period. New work schedule is so bad that I get one weekend off. So
Oh, that sucks.
Thundercat hasn't been wrestling much lately, huh?
No, that's what I'm hearing.
I
well,
can.
that kid is very talented.
Have you seen some of his matches, Chad?
Yes, I've actually worked a few shows with him. So
With the
Oh, really?
Thundercat?
yes, I have.
Okay.
Is there video of that? I want to watch that.
Yeah, I would love to see that actually.
I never worked him in a match, but I worked
Shows that he was on. Okay, I
Oh,
got it.
okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I've never worked him in a match, but I was on the same shows with him a few
All
times.
right. So Autumn Bree says I can hear him and I'm ready to defend my title against Sage if she's ready.
Hey, there
Yeah,
you go.
Sage is ready, Autumn Breeze. If you have not seen that interview from last week, I encourage you to do so. She is focused and hungry, young and hungry, and she's of course she's still in that happy to be here mode, as most people, most rookies are, but she definitely is hungry, definitely is ready, definitely is looking forward to it. So, yeah, it was a
I mean,
pleasure having her. It was a pleasure having her on.
and I mean,
Chad,
she's got a shot at one of the most prestigious women's titles out there. I mean, that's a title that's been held by Chris Statlander, by
yeah,
Nyla Rose. I mean, we're talking about people that are now at the national level have held
yeah,
that championship.
yep. Chad, did you happen to catch the video of the attack that Wyndham James Winthorpe the third performed on senior official Zach Carlucci?
Yes, I did.
What'd you think?
I think Wyndham opened the can of worms that he didn't want that night. And Zach responded very well to it.
Well, I tell you, it's interesting because I don't know if Zach's going to be there this week. I really don't, but it seems like it seems like the prime minister's kind of digging back to the guy that held that title that's on your shoulder for the better part of 3 years.
Well, he might be digging back for that time, but I'll tell you what, it's a new time right now, and the old Roadblock has the title, and I'm not ready to give it up quite yet.
I watched her last week, and I'm ready for her. Oh well, that every time I doubt you, I'm wrong. So yeah,
Yep.
you no doubt you are ready for her. Absolutely. So you got a match then this Saturday at Quakertown, at the Q Mart, at the 3WA Arena, uh, versus Wyndham James Winthrop III. Would love to hear your thoughts of that.
Well, Wyndham runs his mouth how he was chanting for 3 years, and I couldn't beat him. I had a couple of shots against him, and I couldn't beat him. Well, if I remember correctly, I beat him the last 2 shows, and I beat him in 31 seconds. And I beat him in 19 seconds. I believe those are the 2 fastest times in heavyweight history for Triple WA.
I have heard that. I've consulted with the experts. As you know, I don't like to say something unless I have it sourced very well. I have looked at the record books. I have asked 3WA historians, and they are saying that yes, those are the 2 fastest times on record. You do hold the record. You, in fact, held the record the first time, and then you broke the record your second time.
Well, you never know. I just might break the record again. I think I can break it one more time. We'll see. Unless Wyndham runs from me.
Okay, allow me to play devil's advocate, if I may. And the first time, Wyndham James Winthrop III was not prepared to wrestle. You're standing behind him. Zach Carlucci rings the bell without him even knowing. He turns around, boom, gets a spear and gets pinned. He wasn't ready to wrestle. Can you deny that?
I can deny he wasn't ready to wrestle, but remember, the name of the game is always be prepared.
I was just going to say that if I could be the super devil's advocate there, was Wyndham James Winthrop III dressed to wrestle?
Yeah, but that he
Had
always
he
sings the
stepped,
national
had
anthem.
he stepped into the ring with the champion on the other side of the ring, therefore both men were in the ring at the same time.
Yeah, but like I said,
Okay,
Zach
then I
Carlucci
don't.
rang the bell behind him. You guys are see, it's a
There's no
conspiracy
rule
around
that
here. I
says that
swear.
Wyndham needs to sing his national anthem, his personal anthem, a lullaby he heard when he was a child.
Does
He was
Roadblock's
dressed to
Chad
wrestle, and he
McCoy
stepped into
have
the ring.
pride in his country?
Yes, I do.
He
Very much.
absolutely does. He comes out, he gets the fans all riled up. He's high-fiving everybody, chanting USA. Congratulations. The people of Quakertown know what country they live in. And then, but he's allowed to do that, but Wyndham James Winthrop III can't be a patriot of his country?
He can absolutely be a patriot of his country. If he'd like to sing the national anthem, why doesn't he sing the national anthem before he enters the squared circle? Once you enter the squared circle, you become a competitor. That is why, in fact, when Wyndham attacked myself, we settled that issue without any suspensions. There was a little bit of a fine on both of our parts, but there were no suspensions because the ruling from the committee was when I entered the ring, even though I had the best of intentions, I entered the ring, and the ruling was once I entered the ring, I accepted liability and I accepted that I became, if not a competitor at that point, someone who was liable to some physical action being okay at that time. So if Wyndham would like to sing the national anthem of Britain, which is his right, I certainly believe in freedom of speech in this country. It's one of the greatest rights we have. Maybe Wyndham should do it from the outside of the ring instead of within the ring. Is that not fair?
I agree 100%. That's what he wants to do. But you know what? In all rights, he shouldn't be singing that national anthem anyway. If he's dressed to wrestle, he should be ready to go anytime.
I certainly
Well,
agree with that.
have you ever heard of the expression "third time's a charm"?
Yeah, he better bring his A game because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm working out like a madman and I've been training pretty hard lately.
Well,
So,
that I believe. That
Yeah.
that I believe. I don't doubt that for a second.
in fact, I think I put on a few pounds, so I'm up to about 260. I'm ready to run right over him now.
Wow.
I just don't want to break him in half. I want to put him out.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you've been on a real tear since winning that heavyweight championship. I mean, the three of us have obviously had many conversations, and you're someone that is one of those building blocks of the 3WA, and really anywhere you go, you're one of those dependable, good soldier kind of wrestlers. But you have said many times your ultimate goal in wrestling right now has been to get where you are now, to be the 3WA heavyweight champion. And I mean, that puts you in a different mindset, right? You've accomplished the ultimate goal, the last goal, and now the goal has to be enjoying this ride as much as possible, right?
Yes, sir. My goal was, to win that title. I was the hunter. Now I am the hunted. But as being the hunted, you also got to be on your toes all the time. And I'm on my toes all the time for anybody that's coming after my belt.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, as I always do, don't I, Professor?
You do. I just wonder sometimes if you wish him the best of luck with forked tongue, Kimosabi.
Okay.
Listen, Al, I thought me and you buried the hatchet tonight. I won the belt. You came up and congratulated me and
I
everything.
was very proud of you.
Okay.
Yes, it was an amazing moment. The prime minister's not here to defend himself. There was that first time, not the second time. He was ready the second time. He was facing you and everything, but the first time, you know, this is the reason why he attacked Zach Carlucci, because Zach Carlucci cost him the match the first time by ringing the bell behind his back, and then he turns around and boom, spear done over. I just thought it was an unfair advantage. That's all.
But the second time, you're leaving out that Wyndham put his hands on Zach Carlucci. Does Zach Carlucci not have a right to defend himself?
Of course he does. Absolutely.
Okay, so he defended himself, and then after the show, Wyndham decides to jump him from behind. Hours after the
Yeah,
situation
that's uncalled
happened,
for. That's
Zach's
uncalled for. I don't condone that. I don't condone
okay.
that at
That's
all.
what I'm asking.
Zach Carlucci's a friend of mine. Okay. Good luck, brother. Beat him in 10 seconds, says Thundercat. Chris. What's up, Chris?
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what
Yes,
happens.
we
I mean, there's
will.
other matches on that card. Do you happen to know any of those, Professor?
Great stuff on that card. We've got Kai Thomas defending the High Impact Championship against Rico Hendricks. I'm looking forward to that
The
one.
returning Rico Hendricks.
Returning Rico Hendricks. I have not seen Rico Hendricks in a while, and I am very excited to see him come back because we have seen, at least in the SWO, we've seen a different Rico Hendricks of late, a different attitude and a different focus. And I'm really wondering if that's going to carry over to 3WA as well.
Well, I hope it. I hope we see that, because Kai Thomas, as of late, has gone kind of back to the dark side. A little bit of attitude, a little bit of chip
Yeah.
on his shoulder. Kind of viciously attacked his opponent after the match was over. He defends his title, but he still has to viciously attack his opponent
What
after the
what
match is over.
is it something about the High Impact title? I mean, Roadblock, weigh in on this with me, because obviously you have a lot more experience in 3WA than I do. It seems like there's something about that High Impact Championship that just, it seems to go to the head of whoever the champion is, or
It happened to Damon Dante.
it happened to Damon Dante. It happened to, Cortez Castro. We saw to a degree JCM had defended it with honor, and now JCM is just on a very dark path right now as he challenges for the Carnage Championship against his former friend Rob Atkins. Roadblock, is it something with that title? Is it something in the mindset of being a champion? I mean, is there a temptation there that just your better denying than these folks are? I mean, what's going on there?
Well, I think it's the title itself. Me speaking for myself as being the heavyweight champion, I didn't let the belt go to my head. I just think it's a job for me, and I'm still the same old Roadblock, but I'm just the champion, and instead of just giving it 100%, I'm giving it 120%. And I believe that title is cursed a little bit, if I should say cursed, because it seems like everybody that holds it, it just goes right to their head. I think they think winning that belt is the next step to coming after my strap.
I mean, it's a possibility.
I'm excited about this show on Saturday, Roadblock, because I'm ring announcing that show this week.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Were you aware of that?
I heard it, but I didn't know if it was true. I'm glad it's true because I will say one thing: you are one hell of an announcer. I enjoy listening to your work.
Can I beg your forgiveness for at least one show where you don't rough me up in the back before I go out there or anything like that?
Yeah, we'll talk about that Saturday.
My lord. All right. Anyway, so what do
You
you
don't
think of
want
the?
those hands. You
So
don't want
speaking
those
of
hands.
so speaking of 3WA Carnage, the professor has an open invitation out there for certain wrestlers or anybody else involved that come on out there and share the broadcast table with him because I'm going to be busy doing what I'm doing, so I won't be able to shed some light on the subject as I like to say. But 3WA Carnage, if you guys haven't seen 3WA Carnage, go to the 3WA YouTube channel, check out some past episodes, and you'll hear the professor and I on commentary. And it's got a brand new intro coming out on the newer shows coming out too. So we saw
Very
that too.
excited.
Excited about that. Have you seen the
Very
new
excited.
intro, Chad?
No, I haven't, but I will tell you what. Once I tell you guys all the time, you guys are still the best play-by-play guys I've seen on the independents ever. So.
Okay, thank you
Well,
so
the
much.
professor's gonna disagree with you there, but he's wrong.
I'm my own worst critic. I always say if I get a show, maybe even two shows, because I do have at least one show on my belt now that I feel like I'm pretty completely happy with what I did on it. So that was always the thing I used to say is like if I get to one show that I'm completely happy with, it's time to stop. And then I'm like, oh, but I don't want to stop. So now I'm just gonna move the goalpost and go, well, if I get two shows that I'm happy with.
Mm.
But I always feel like I can improve, right? If you're not improving, then it's time to go.
Exactly. It's just like being a wrestler in the ring. If you just get satisfied and you don't want to push yourself more, it's time to get the hell out.
So, what do you think of speaking of Carnage, Roadblock? What do you think of the current Carnage champion, Mr. Atkins?
That guy's like a freaking machine.
Yes.
I actually seen him last weekend on another show, and I'll tell you what, that guy's like a freaking machine. I don't think there's any flaws in that guy's game at all. No. And if there is, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, it's hard to argue that. I mean, like I said, he impresses us every freaking month. Keith has often called him on commentary as a tremendous representative of that championship.
Absolutely, he is.
And he's taken on all comers, and we thought that his issues with JCM were taken care of, but apparently there's still an issue there. They thought they buried the hatchet there, and then after the match, JCM just up and attacked him again. So, I mean, I think that issue is not resolved yet.
No, it can't be. I mean, these guys trained together. They came back to 3WA together with the idea of they were going to go after the tag titles. They were going to be a unit. They were going to be on the same side. And JCM he's changed. I mean, I've talked about on commentary, I've talked about here, when JCM was out, and he was out for about 2 years with a really serious injury. And JCM would check in with me about once a month, and I would try to pump him up, and he would try to pump himself up of like, okay, you're going to get through this. We're going to do this. Da, da, da. To see what JCM has done in terms of his attitude, in terms of the way he treats the fans now, the fact that I've tried to talk to him, and he will not answer my messages now. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for me, and it's very hard to call his matches and be non-biased with all of that history. I don't know what's happened to him, but it breaks my heart that it has.
I totally agree with you. I remember when he got hurt, I was one of the guys that helped him out of the ring that night. If you guys remember,
Yeah.
I helped him out of the ring, and when his attitude started changing, I believe when he was my first title defense, and his attitude changed in that match. He was starting
Absolutely.
he was starting to do some shady stuff, and it's like, okay, you want to play that way? I played the same. I didn't cheat like he did, but he was starting to do some shady stuff in that match.
Oh, absolutely, he was.
Like I said, I actually seen Rob last weekend, and actually JCM actually threw a challenge out to him last week on the show that he was working, and Rob, as a champion, stepped up to the plate and took his challenge, and they had a hell of a match.
As they usually do.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. So that's fans, as you can see scrolling along the bottom of the screen there. Each and every fourth Saturday of every month in Quakertown at the 3WA Arena, right there at the Q Mart, gate number 1. Doors open at 6 o'clock. 3WA is live. We do Carnage tapings there. The Professor and I are usually on commentary, but this Saturday, I'm ring announcing, and the Professor's going to have some guest commentary. So, whoever steps up and does that.
You never know. Maybe the heavyweight champion will come and do a match. You never know.
Oh, I'm sure. Hey, why not?
That would certainly be fine by me. I mean,
or the women's champion, Autumn Breeze, who's watching this program. She's been on there with the Professor before.
Yes, she has. And she's very professional, because I did a couple of times try to crack her up on one of the shows that we did together, and she
tried
did
to
not
crack. See? How about so how about the ruiner of it all, JT Cage, Professor? Would you welcome him over there? Silence.
Why?
That's the only way to silence the Professor, Roadblock.
You're trying to
JT Cage.
You're trying to get me fired, aren't you?
Maybe I'll join the Professor. See, look.
Well, me and JT Cage have a
history. A little bit.
Yeah.
He seems to be the guy that you just can't beat.
Well, I've beaten him, but I
feel like that's the other way around.
I've also lost to him quite a few times too, but I've also beat him a few times too. So he's not the guy that I can't totally beat. I can, but we're sort of locked at even number of wins and losses.
Well, that title that you are holding is the only one he has not held in 3WA. Is that right?
I believe so.
I mean, Carnage champion exempted, because that's a new championship, and I don't even know if JT Cage would be interested in that championship. Wyndham James Winthorpe the third is a former champion, so who knows? But who knows? I'm down to make it. Come on up.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That is an open invitation, Thundercat. Get your ass up to Quakertown, man. Just, I don't know if you can do it in the next week. We're there this Saturday on the 26th.
Next week, but
Oh, come on up, man. Thundercat. Man, that'd be tremendous. I don't care who they put him in there with.
Yeah, we've been talking about having him up again.
Maybe the Dude. Wait, does the Dude have a match this week?
Yes, the Dude is going against, I believe, Iron Bull Argus.
Iron Bull Argus. Okay.
I'll tell you a story about Iron Bull Argus.
Okay.
I forgot he was a left-hander the first time I ever faced him. So, yeah. And anybody that knows left-handers know they switch everything around for you. So he goes to throw a punch, and I'm prepared for a right hand. Well, he hit me right on the jaw. It was like, what? It slowed a little bit, but I got him in the end with the spear.
So that'll be interesting. The Dude versus the Dude's been on a roll, right? Over the past few months, he's back in the winning column. He's like, and I'm wondering when and which championship might interest him moving forward.
Absolutely.
I'll say it right now. I will put the title on the line against anybody. I don't care who it is. Anytime I will put the belt on the line.
Dudamania might run wild, Professor.
It might. Al, how good would it be?
Just
And all
remember,
due respect to the current champ, but if Dudamania ran wild with the
Mhm.
3WA heavyweight championship, how complete would your life be to see that?
For the first, yeah,
just remember, Professor, he still has to pin my shoulders to the
Oh,
mat. That
absolutely.
has to come.
for the
Absolutely. Like I
first
said, all
time
due respect.
for the first time in my history of involvement with the company, I would be solely in the corner of Roadblock Chad McCoy if that match happens.
We'll never know. It might. Yeah. What
And
does
that's no disrespect to the dude, but I'm just sick of the whole thing. And we're sitting there doing commentary, and he comes out and he's handing out candy gummies, and the professor tells me how great they are. But we all know what kind of gummies are in the pockets of the dude,
Oh yes, we do.
and he's handing them out to children. And then the referees are stupid enough to take him sometimes. And then his opponents are dumb enough to take him sometimes. And then all he has to do is hit you with that contact high foot to the face, and you're out. And he knows exactly what he's doing. The whole gummy thing's an act. It's a distraction. It's ridiculous.
Al, there's the regular gummies and then there's the special gummies.
Yeah.
Okay? Only the adults get the special gummies.
I tagged with the dude one other time in another promotion, and he offered me the gummies, and I said no. I said I'm good. Well,
Hey,
Autumn
that's your
Breeze
choice.
tagged up with the dude. I wonder if she partook in some of these gummies before the match.
I don't know. Autumn's always in a good mood. But she, for some reason, she seemed like she was in an extra good mood that night.
See?
She did.
But you know what? Here and there, I can't. I don't know. I don't have any proof, so I can't say yes or no.
It's an unfair advantage when you drug your opponents. That's all I got to say.
I don't know if he drugs any of his opponents, but I'll tell you one thing: I don't want that kick of his. Because that kick has put a lot of guys.
Oh yes,
Absolutely.
that'll agree. He was 1 year solid as the first inaugural Carnage champion. So yeah, I mean,
And the only way Wyndham could beat him was to cheat. So
Yes.
there's that.
win if you can, lose if you must, Professor. You know, a famous man said before me.
He did.
I plead the fifth. See,
There you go.
the difference was Autumn Breeze was his partner.
Yeah.
So it's one thing to party up with your partner. It's another thing to distract the
The dude
opponent.
is a free spirited individual who just wants to spread peace and love. And
Oh,
I can't say the other thing on YouTube, but you know what I mean.
Well, not to be a jerk or nothing, and I don't want to come off as a jackass, but if me and him ever do have a match, I'm looking at him like everybody else. You coming after me for my belt? Oh, it's going to be a long night because I'm not giving it up as easy as that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
As long as I got two hands and the spear, I'm always in the game.
which brings me to a question that, since I have you on here, I'm quite interested for you to answer. And you and I have had this conversation, but deep down in your mind and in your heart, you're more towards the end of your career than the beginning, right?
I'm getting to the twilight of my career. There's a few things I still want to do yet before I'm totally done.
So, okay, so my question was going to be not, what people might be thinking was, when you're going to hang the boots up. No. My question is, what do you want to do now that you've gotten to that pinnacle? What's left for you to accomplish? Like, what else do you have to prove?
Well, you know what? There is another belt that I never did hold in the Triple WA. Do you guys know which belt that is?
Well, I mean, unless you're talking about the Carnage Championship, that's new.
No, I don't want the Carnage belt. What's the other belt?
The Extreme?
Dream.
I never held the Extreme. What happens if Roadblock has a title for title and win the Extreme? I'd be the only guy to ever hold every belt in 3WA.
This is true.
True.
I would be the Grand Slam champion. I would hold everything. I'd be the only guy.
And you know who the current 3WA Extreme champion is?
Unfortunately, I do.
Donnie Bambino.
That's right.
And last time I worked Donnie Bambino, I pinned his shoulders to the mat. So you know what? I'm coming in on a pretty hot streak. So.
Well, I'd love to see that match too. Donnie Bambino versus the Roadblock. That'd be good.
Good old hoss fight.
It's like two bulls going at it. You know, neither one of
Mhm.
us is going to back down.
But he'll have the hat guy and possibly Shelby Waters in his corner, or one or both.
But you know what? I might have a few tricks up my sleeve. Maybe I'll have Nathaniel Cunningham in my corner.
Oh, good Lord.
I can see it.
And just to really even it out, maybe Tyler Sims. How about that?
Geez, how many people do you need?
Well, how many people does he need?
Well, I'm just saying, like the hat guy's a licensed manager. Shelby Waters has now aligned herself not only with him, but with the Bad family. Nathaniel Cunningham's out there in left field somewhere trying to figure out why his wife has betrayed him and is off on the other team. And on top of all that, then you want top shelf Tyler Sims out there too. I think that's pretty unfair in my book.
Well, you know what? I really don't need anybody to go out there.
Now you don't need anybody.
But you know what? To even up the sides, it helps to have some friends.
I wouldn't trust top shelf Tyler Sims either if I were you. He wants that championship too. He's said it right to our faces. He said it.
Sure he does. But top shelf Tyler Sims knows there's a right way and there's a wrong way to go for that championship.
Well,
I've talked to top shelf Tyler Sims many times. I said, anytime you want a shot at it, you've got a welcome shot at it.
There you go. He knows to go through the front door, not the back door.
I'm not ducking anybody. And you guys should know, as a tag team champion and as a hardcore champion, I didn't duck anybody. I took all challenges.
No.
We got to volunteer.
If Shelby is in Donnie's corner, I'll hear that. If Shelby is in Donnie's corner, then I'll be in Roadblocks. That's from Autumn Breeze.
There you go.
All right, I'll take my little sister in my corner. That works.
Well, anyway,
is it fair now, Al? Is it fair now?
That seems more fair. Yeah, I don't know what the hack guy will have to say about that. I mean, we'll see. Hey, maybe him and JT have been lying low lately. They've been coming up with a plan to get all the gold back. They already succeeded without Donnie got the Extreme Championship back, so now JT's got to come back and go after some gold and get some of the other gold back.
Isn't it interesting that Donnie got that championship without the hat guy or JT Cage anywhere near the ring when it happened?
Well, that's a question for them. That's a question for them, Professor. You keep saying his name, he's going to pop up. You know how that works.
I'm just saying that is something that I'm very interested to hear the answer to.
Well, I tell you, I'll always and Roadblock and I, we buried the hatchet, but I've always been loyal to the original family, and they're on a down part right now. They lost all their gold. The Bad Fellas exploded. That was a hell of a fight between those two. I mean, that was a heck. If you guys haven't seen that, please go to 3WA's YouTube channel and check that match out between Donnie and Nathaniel Cunningham, lumberjack match. And Shelby Waters aside, man, I don't even think that issue between those two is over yet.
I don't think so either. You know what was a hell of a match too? Donnie Bambino and Tyler Sims for that belt.
Oh, sure.
That was
very true.
Those guys ripped the house down. Oh,
they did.
After the show, Top Shelf Tyler Sims admitted to us that he felt, even though he didn't come up on the top in that match, that was one of his better matches in a long time. At least he felt that way.
Yeah.
Me and him were sitting next to each other in the locker room that night. We were talking after the show, and he said said the same thing to me. But I'll tell you what, that Andrew Bateman guy had to interfere at the end. Bateman better just watch out what he's asking for.
That's a scary individual that guy is.
Yeah, Bateman's no joke.
Bateman better watch out what he's asking for, because he doesn't want on a top shelf when top shelf gets on a roll.
Well, man, I don't know if any of you guys want any of him, because he's been very, quite intimidating lately.
Yes, current New Era Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion, and you got to wonder if having that belt is part of what is emboldening him to take on a veteran like Top Shelf Tyler Sims.
We are joined by the 3WA High Impact Champion himself. That is Kai Thomas. And Kai Thomas is here. He said, I would have won. Versus his father against Donnie Bambino. He says he would have beat him.
I thought we were done with this.
That's debatable. I don't think the kid's got quite yet to beat the old man yet.
He's gaining momentum, man. He's the High Impact Champion, and like I said, he's got that new attitude. You know, it's good things have been happening to him with he's showing his vicious side at times during matches. Like he'll do some fair play. Like he's kind of, he'll start the match out that way. But if you get on his bad side,
I got a message for Kai Thomas there.
He's listening.
You tell him when he's ready to jump on with the big dogs like his dad and me, then he'll be ready to take the big boys on. Until then, just let him defend his belt with the little guys.
Prince Piranha is here. A new challenger has arrived. Jeez. You have this huge target on your back.
Brother, it's all part of holding the belt, and I'll tell you what, I will take all challenges. Let them come on down after the belt, and I'll just keep on knocking them down.
And Prince Piranha is a guy that he's a threat for the heavyweight title. He's a threat for the High Impact title. He's a threat for the Extreme title. He's a threat for any singles title.
Yep.
In the 3WA, he could be plugged in anywhere. Prince Piranha is in a zone.
I'd love to see him versus Kai Thomas.
Yeah.
Kai Thomas versus Prince Piranha.
That could be match of the year right there.
Get it booked, 3WA committee.
I'd call it. I would love to call it.
That
right there with you.
Right
Thundercat, we all love him.
Yeah. Folks, go on YouTube. Look at 3LW Prince Piranha versus Tarzan Duran. A great match.
Instant classic.
Out to me last week. An instant classic.
Mm-hmm.
So good. So good.
I'll have to look it up there when I get off with you guys.
Oh, absolutely do. Very good.
But yeah, I've seen Piranha work quite a few times. Very impressed with the guy. And same thing with Kai Thomas. I'm very impressed with him. In fact, I worked Kai Thomas' second match at 3WA, if everybody remembers.
Yeah, no, yes.
Yeah.
So he said, so after I beat Rico, so Kai Thomas is wrestling Rico Hendricks. We mentioned that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, after I beat Rico, I'd love to take on Princess Piranha, he said.
No, do not take him lightly.
Don't poke the bear, man.
No.
That's why Kai still has that belt.
Like I said, that would be match of the year right there. Those two guys going at it.
I think so, yeah.
It'd be phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Two speed guys, two guys that can work, two guys that they're so evenly matched. It's unbelievable.
And the endurance too, like they're young. So I mean, I think the match would probably go a little bit longer than we would think. It would. I think it might go. I'm not going to speculate, but it might go a little bit longer because those guys could probably go for a while, and I think they're going to wear each other out, and neither one's going to back down. It's going to take everything they got, and then they're going to have to do it again. You know what I mean?
That's the kind of match I get up and salivate to call.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that being a 20, 30-minute match.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, easily.
Something like that. I mean, 20 minutes. I didn't want to say no. I didn't want to put a number on it, but
you could headline with that.
I'll throw the number out then because I can honestly see it go that long. So, and like you guys said, they'll throw the kitchen sink at each other, the whole match. So
Kai has the do what it takes to win attitude. Exactly.
Very true.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Damned. Professor's calling him evil or whatever. Like he's something
I didn't call him evil. I just said, there's something about his attitude of late. He's back to more of the original family, Kai Thomas tactics.
Well, I know he doesn't want nothing to do with those guys anymore, but he's his own man now. But I mean, he's coming into his own.
He's certainly taken the lessons he learned there.
What'd you say there, Chad?
I totally agree. He is is coming into his own. Hey, if he's got that attitude, win at all costs, win at all costs. As long as you win clean at all costs, I have no problem with it. When you start cheating, I have a major problem with it.
So you're saying you've never cheated in your entire life?
I never low blowed, and I never cheated in the ring at all. You go back, I have quite a few matches on YouTube. You go back through all my matches, and you never see me throw a low blow in any of my matches, or I cheated in any of my matches.
Piranha says, "What is this? His first belt? I'll take it and watch him cry about it."
That's
Kai says, "I'm
different.
not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm just a guy who isn't scared to play dirty to win." Right there, it is.
There you go.
He don't care who likes it. He's content. He's happier than I've ever seen him.
Well,
That's going his way lately.
I will admit he got some damn good training through the guys that trained him. So I know what kind of worker he is. So.
Well, we'll see him in action against Rico Hendricks this week. Again, fans, this Saturday at the Q Mart, tickets are $20, general admission, and if you bring the family, man, it's the annual Brawl Hollows Eve. Some people dress up for that. I don't know if there's a contest involved. You know
There
that,
is a
Roadblock?
contest, so absolutely dress up.
I am not sure there has been a contest the last
In the
few
past,
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
But come dressed up because there'll be candy and it's their Halloween special. And again, Brawl Hollows Eve annually every October is always a great time. We have a good time. Bring the kids.
I have seen advertising that says that there is a costume contest.
There you go,
So
costume contest.
please
So
come
yes, that
dressed
has been
up.
advertised.
I will dress up even though I am ineligible. Al, I'd encourage you, even though you're ineligible too. I know you got some costumes at home.
The ring announcer needs to dress up?
I didn't say you need to. I'm just saying, why not? It's Halloween. Let's have some fun. Come
Well, I
on.
don't know. People can see me in a suit. But what were you saying there, Chad?
I have one other thing to say too. It is also we are partnered with a food bank, I believe.
Yes.
you are.
So bring your cans and your perishables, non-perishable goods, and there'll be a yes.
Anything that you can spare to help.
Yes. So bring some canned goods, bring some non-perishables to the show, and throw them in the box there. It'll be right there over by the concession stand. We saw it there last month, and it'll be again here this month. And that's a great cause there. So definitely, if you guys can spare, what are you doing with that can of peas and the thing? Bring the can of peas that you're not going to eat anyway.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Any little bit will help with families that need it.
Absolutely. So again, guys, it's this Saturday, and each fourth Saturday of every month down at the Q Mart. Doors will open at 6. The bell time's at 7. Tickets are $20. Go to 3WA's Facebook page, and all the matches will be lined up there, including the Roadblock Chad McCoy versus Wyndham James Winthrop III, including Kai Thomas versus Rico Hendricks, including hopefully Autumn Breeze versus Sage Del Barrio, and other matches. Many other matches are going to be involved in Brawls Hollows Eve. It's going to be a blast.
Yes, like always, we always put a good show on. So.
Absolutely.
Especially
and
that one. Brawls is one of our rare annual shows.
And in one of our favorites. We have a good time with that one, guys. I remember one time the Wolfman came dressed as Hellbilly Jim, Professor. Remember that?
I remember that. He did the whole music and everything.
He did. He came out to Don't Go Messing to a Country Boy and all that. Yeah. I was dressed up as the Macho Man one year.
Yes, I remember that. And you even had, oh yeah.
I did. My kids always asked me to do the Macho Man impersonation because I named my youngest Elizabeth. Oh, okay. So whenever she's mad, whenever she's in trouble, I go, Elizabeth, get on over here right now. Do one of those deals. So
it almost sounds like Randy Savage on the other end of the phone right now.
I appreciate that. You guys are amazing. Have a great week. I'll see you Saturday. We will see the 3WA Women's Champion Autumn Breeze. We will see Roadblock Chad McCoy. We'll see Wyndham James Winthrop III. We'll see the Dude. We'll see the Carnage champion, Rob Atkins, and among others. The Bad Family will be around. I heard that JT Cage and the Hat Guy are finally returning to Quakertown that beautiful Saturday afternoon. It's going to be
Oh,
lovely.
joy.
Roadblock, you got any final words, bud, before we get out of here?
Yeah, it's going to be a long night for the Prime Minister. If he's up to any shady crap, I am prepared for anything he's got. And you know what? You never know. He might just get beat in 10 seconds this time if he keeps running his mouth. We'll see.
Well,
Possible.
that remains to be seen. Okay, guys. So next week here on this channel at this same time on Sunday, the 27th of October, we're going to have the boys from Inside the Squared Circle here. That is the Wolfman, that is Adrian Bliss, and that is Big Dave Motorman, the three that have that show every Wednesday on live on Facebook at 6:30 p.m. So guys, check that out if you don't have local WNEP channel 16. If you're not in that area, if you're watching on the interwebs, you can watch it on on Wolfman's Facebook page each and every Wednesday at 6:30. They will be here, and we're going to be talking some WWE, some AEW, the state of professional wrestling. Who knows when we get together with those guys. So come on in and strap yourselves in for a great night of chatting some wrestling with those three next week at 6 o'clock here on Around the Turnbuckle on each and every Sunday night. If you like our videos, please like them, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. Spread the word. And if you are interested in being a guest here on Around the Turnbuckle, send us a message and we'll try to make that happen. We have the complete month of November open. We have nobody booked for every Sunday in November, and they go fast. So once I make that announcement, usually I get contacted pretty quickly. A lot of times it's from guys that have been on before, and we love having those guys on, but we really love some fresh faces too. So definitely the folks from wherever you guys are wrestling. You guys are wrestling in New York. You guys are wrestling in we've made contact with the Brooklyn boys, New Jersey. Guys from the Monster Factory, guys from New Era. You guys are watching SWO guys. You guys have a connection with the professor. Give us a shout and come back on here. And no offense to Mr. Miami, he's been on 7 times. So if he contacts me, I'll probably have to postpone that a couple of weeks. But anyway, everybody else is fair. Everybody else is fair game.
Yeah.
I'd be down to be a guest. Send me a message. Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
If you're in the wrestling business, if you're a wrestler,
outfielders, new SWO tag team champions.
The outfielders.
Let's do
Congratulations to the new SWO tag team champions, the outfielders, capturing the tag team gold last night. And again, anybody who's interested in being
UCK hit us up.
There you go. UCK, Just Jay, and Al Snook. Why not? Anybody else who's interested in being a guest, please give us a shout by sending a message to our Facebook Messenger page. That's Around the Turnbuckle's Facebook page. And you send the message. Yeah, I just answered that question. Send the message to Around the Turnbuckle's Facebook page. And I will get it, and I will get in contact with you. So if you're in the wrestling business, you're a referee, you're a wrestler, you're a ring announcer, you're a commentator, you're a promoter. Any and all the above. Love it. For the professor and the 3WA heavyweight champion, Roadblock Chad McCoy, I'm Big Al. This was Around the Turnbuckle. We'll see you next time.
You think you know me?
Oh, yeah. If you smile. Calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per